Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Everyday Black Man Podcast, a podcast for authentic black male thoughts. I am Riker and I'm joined by R. Reed and Armstead. Follow us on Twitter at EVYD Black Men, Instagram at Everyday Black Men, and Facebook at the Everyday Black Men Facebook page. Now let's start the show. Instead of talking about the real shit that's going on, is what we're doing.
Hell yeah, here we go. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by bad people, but the silence by good people. So this week I tell y'all, my brothers, wake up. They coming with you. This younger generation is with you. It's weird. 4 years ago, they saw it on TV as children. Now these college students, they've grown to be young adults. The people who saw Colin Kaepernick, we told them what was going on. Now they out there with you with their signs. All it took was George Floyd. We don't mention Breonna Taylor as much, but George Floyd was what we would call a lynching, modern day lynching on TV. It was interesting to see, at least when I watched it. What was you when you saw this George Floyd video? I was in the shower on YouTube for some reason or another, and it came across my screen with, yeah, I don't know why I was on this shit in the shower. I watched YouTube in the shower. Okay, it was on TYT. I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Why would you sit on this nigga neck for that long? When a nigga say, I can't breathe, like, nigga, y'all heard that shit 4 years ago. They say, well, if you can talk, you can breathe. I'm talking right now, nigga, and I'm not breathing.
Correct.
Duh, nigga, you can talk and not breathe. Said the nigga died within 3 to 5 minutes, right?
Nah, the whole thing took 8 minutes and 46
Yeah, I know,
seconds.
but he was dead for at least like 6 minutes. Like, now they say he should have been dead around 3 minutes of that video. Like the last 3 minutes of that video, he was dead.
Yeah, he was not moving.
And why would you just sit there? Like, because the problem is, what they don't want to talk about is, if I were a cop today and I walked in here and shot all of y'all, because y'all black men, they would believe my story and they won't investigate it.
Correct.
Or the investigation would be lax. At worst, I could say, oh, I might get fired, but the next town over, they'll hire me.
Yeah. Also, he's a white cop in this scenario. If he was a black cop, all of a sudden they want to investigate and they want to see if stories match up.
I still think he'll just get fired. They know to protect them as well. I just don't know if they have the same.
Didn't work for what was his name, Ahmoud or
Not always.
Mr. Moore.
Well, always, but you get, I hate to make it a race issue, because white people, are y'all okay with getting your ass whipped? Because I keep seeing this comment, well, there's more white people getting their ass beat by police too. I'm like, so you're saying that's fine? We're saying it's bad, period.
Correct.
Together.
Like, I don't get it. And I'm sorry, just like with anything, we get the worst of it. And one thing I would take from Candace Parker, you bitch, is it's a multi-layered issue. That's about it. But she denies the issue.
Was his name?
Who?
Muhammad Noor.
Oh, yeah. She denies the issue as a total because, she's a bitch. I mean,
Well, of course.
And just understand, man, that nigga said, what's his name? What was nigga? Shea Guava, whatever the nigga name. When the forces of oppression come to maintain their power against established law, peace is considered already broken. All right, so with that said, I'm taking quotes from the internet, by the way. I had got these ready.
I'm glad that you have quotes ready.
Yeah,
I'm actually sitting here glad to see that black men have come ready to tell the white system of oppression that, nah, man, we're calling you on your bullshit.
Listening and we're soaking it in.
It was something else I said the other day that nobody liked, which was okay. I said, y'all see how y'all act for your civil rights, which is something we should have been fighting for years. Wait till you come for your civil rights. Because I believe what they said was what makes sense. Of course, Candace Parker mentioned is, if you ain't got money in your pocket, you can't get them charges removed. Like a lawyer, to that degree, they won't fight them. A $15,000 lawyer. It was this white lady who told a story. She said, my daughter got a drinking and driving test and a drinking and driving charge. What's that for an average person? $5,000 to $10,000, from what I've understood, right? They paid judge, lawyer $25,000. They got off. It's not even on her record.
Well, that reminds me of a person when I was in court who she had 2 previous DUIs and they brought her in on a traffic case. It's like, I'm sorry, you the last motherfucker that need to be talking about any incident when it comes to traffic, because you already had 2 of them. And on top of that, the prosecutor, the district attorney, he recognized her, which means, bitch, you come to this court often enough for this nigga to be like, you back again? Wait a sec, you not the defendant? You in the box? That don't make no sense.
I think this time is different because corporate America is supporting the cause, and that's a damn shame. It's a damn shame, to say the least. You see Amazon, fucking Call of Duty video games. Nickelodeon.
Yeah, fucking PlayStation canceled their event.
That pissed me off. I want to know about this next PlayStation 5, but whatever. I understand what they was doing.
But I do see
and make it black.
I do see that they put
Actually, they need to have a Black Lives Matter edition.
they put Black Lives Matter on. Or was it what game was that? Call of Duty.
No, they did it on Call of Duty. They did it on their fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 turned off their servers for 2 hours, which made no fucking sense.
It don't matter. When I saw fucking the NFL come out, that's something different, man.
When NFL came out, I was like, sit your whole ass down.
Roger Goodell, we were wrong. Nigga, we told you that.
We told you were wrong years ago.
Yeah.
Y'all still blackball Colin Kaepernick. Y'all didn't give him a job. You know what would have made people respect
They didn't allow him to earn a job. I don't care about them giving him a job, but they didn't allow him to earn a job.
That's what I'm saying.
And white people still sticking to that same bullshit. Well, he wasn't no good anymore. I'm just like, do you need to go back 4 years? I mean, he's better than a lot of people from 4 years ago. And he's
better than at least
half.
Four of the current roster of people who are playing, and he's better than pretty much all the backup quarterbacks.
Not right now. Cam Newton about to be somebody backup. He ain't better than Cam Newton. Cam Newton still ain't got a job.
Maybe Cam Newton's better than him, but he's better than
a lot.
He's better than 80% of that list.
A lot of them, but I don't know about now. It's been 4 years since he.
No, I'm just saying based on looking at it. Now, part of this I'm grabbing from Red Herring, so you have to take that up with him.
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons backup quarterback is this white dude named Matt Schaub, I believe, still. And Matt Schaub ain't been good for years. He had a moment when he was on Texans and he moved around. He had a starter position. That's another problem the NFL need to address. Why aren't that many black quarterbacks at backup? Like that's.
Oh, let's kick the ballistics. Why aren't there that many black coaches? Let's start there.
I thought white people was like, well, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if you look at it, statistically speaking, when people work in the industry for this long, the NFL been primarily black for at least the last 40 years?
About 40 years.
The NFL has?
Yeah. About 40 years. We're talking about primarily black.
You talking about like
over 50% black for at least 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do we have, I think we got 2 black coaches now?
Yeah, 2.
2.
Out of all these teams, it's what, 20-some teams, 30 teams?
It's 30 teams, I believe, right? 15 on each side, right?
Okay, yeah. That sounds right.
I think out the NBA. Excuse me.
But we have that. And to be honest, there should be at least one Asian coach.
No.
One Asian coach.
No.
There should be maybe 2 Hispanic coaches.
It's 30
but there should be at least 10 black coaches.
It's 32 NFL teams.
Okay.
No, there should not be an Asian coach.
Yeah, man.
That's if you're talking about a representation of society.
No, I'm not talking about representation. I'm saying like actually earns a spot. I'm not saying give. I'm not saying go out there.
They're not even like 0.5% Asian football players. So I don't.
Again, I'm not making that thing. I'm just saying if we go based off
I see what he's
jobs
saying.
are where we have people who apply. Because let's be honest here. Asians don't apply for jobs when they're not making money. So based on the fact that the NFL is a job where you're going to be making serious money, hell, let's even go NCAA.
Who would even have to check front office, but not a coach. But I'm probably pretty sure there's some Asians in the front office. But even front office jobs, I think we got one black GM, if that.
Yeah.
We had a couple, but here or there. Like in the NBA, they're better about it, but they still got a whole bunch of white coaches to be like 95% black. They're like 95%.
Yeah, see,
black.
the thing about it is the NBA is a way darker representation of what you're saying. Because the thing about the NBA is that's sort of, as you like to say, the liberals versus the conservatives. Because the liberals will let you, hey, you guys want to put on your shirts, you want to
we
give
can poke holes in the NBA too. Don't get it wrong. Because the newer coaches over the last couple of years have been white. They've been using a lot of quote unquote white guys who are statistics driven. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing for the NFL too. But none of those guys have won anything. Maybe I'm trying to think, like Kerr was an old basketball player. They could say he's statistics driven, or what they call it, quantum analytics.
Quantum analytics, yeah.
Yeah, with the sports. And from it was a guy who used to run the what was the name of that team? It was a movie that came out. Y'all should watch it. It's actually pretty good. He ran the athletics. What's the name of that movie? Moneyball.
Moneyball.
I knew it was Moneyball, yeah.
Why didn't you say it?
I didn't know.
Billy Bean. Billy Bean was like one of the first guys to use that kind of super ultra weird analytics to play, which baseball has gotten boring since they did that. They took away a lot.
Always been boring.
Well, no. Baseball's gotten more boring because before it was a little less predictable.
Baseball in the 90s was awesome. when we were kids, when they was hitting all them home runs.
Oh, yeah, when they had them back-to-back. I don't give a shit about the steroids. Different. That was a good time for everyone.
Everybody on steroids now?
Oh, hell yeah. It's from the 80s.
They were all on steroids.
Nigga, them niggas was hitting home runs out the park like it was crazy. Like, niggas be hitting like 30, 40 now. Them niggas was hitting like 100. Sorry, y'all. Black Lives Matter.
Well, it's hard because there's so much to talk about here. I mean, the one thing I will say, starting off with the assassination of Ahmaud Arbery by the McMichael fuckwads.
We mentioned that on one podcast, right?
We did, but we didn't really expand on it. It's just the more information that comes out, the worse this begins to look.
They should fire the DA, fire everybody in there should be fired. Like the way they covered it up. If that's I don't think that it's a small town and that's how it got. I'm telling you, that's happening.
That town is mostly black. That's the problem.
I've been in that town. What was the name of it?
Brunswick,
Georgia.
Yeah, Brunswick, Georgia. I
know a nigga from there. I think that's Burke County.
No, it's Glenn County.
Glenn, is it close to Burke? Because I've been to Brunswick and it wasn't no place I wanted to stay.
No, it wouldn't be.
It's a representation of the South that, like, you got these pockets of black people in the South where white people have these nice homes and everybody else staying like, all right, house. I never wanted to stay in a small town. But, in the next couple of years, I'm probably going to have me a house in a small town so I can grow marijuana out there. And
Burke County is nowhere near that. But going back to the McMichaels, I felt one way about this case, and the more layers of this onion that get peeled back, it's getting worse and worse. Like now, the fact that they ran over him after he was shot, and they threw the N-word in for some extra spice. It's like, why?
And they ran him over? I didn't know they ran him over.
Yeah, that's the thing that I thought was fucked up. It's like, so wait, how did y'all not bring up the fact that he was ran over with a car at some point? Like, why was that not pertinent information for us to all know? Which now, based on the information that we're finding out, I see why the cops wanted to throw these two little niggas in jail. And they were like, well, the DA was like, oh, whoa. But black people, as we've always told you, you now see the power of your DA. Prosecutorial or prosecutory discretion is a hell of a drug. She managed to delay these people going to jail, both of these pieces of shit, for 2 months. For 2 months, they got to stay out in the open because she wanted to delay things. Imagine if they had, since they didn't have charges, decided to go to Mexico. We wouldn't even have a case.
Do you think Black Lives Matter is funded by some quote-unquote Democrat right now?
Well, they always say it's funded by George Soros.
Correct.
And to a certain extent, that's true. But at the same time, everything is funded by somebody.
Correct. The Civil Rights Movement was funded by a whole bunch of white people.
And not just white people, like white people who are like, no, we want you to have your civil rights, but we want you to have your civil rights down there. Up here, we do things one way. Down there, it's the same way that it was like with it's always been like that. People will fund your movement if they're like, all right, you know what? I don't really like conservatives. I'm going to fund your Black Lives Matter because that fucks with them.
I feel like they're okay as long
as fucks with them.
As long as they don't touch their money, they don't give a fuck.
Exactly. That's the thing about it is people liberals. Like Amazon can, yeah. Amazon, mostly run by liberals. They can say, hey, we're going to do Black Lives Matter because this doesn't affect their money. Yeah. Now, if you were saying immigrant lives matter, Amazon's not going to fuck with you on that.
Because if you said Black Lives Matter, well, first thing we need to do is make more money. Well, we're gonna change some laws.
Well, no, it's like you said last podcast. Well, two podcasts ago from this podcast. Yeah, they was cool with giving y'all $15 an hour, and then they took away your stock options.
And just Friday, what happened Friday? It was something that happened Friday. Oh man.
The fact that they decided to make Black Lives Matter in D.C.
That was hilarious.
I thought that was one of the strongest troll moves I've ever seen. Because it wasn't like the mayor was like, hey, I'm going to do this on D.C. Like, the mayor actually did it.
Shout out to Killer Mike.
Yeah. Shout out to Killer Mike.
Yeah, I've seen this nigga on every TV show I watch now.
Yeah.
He been on The Hill. He was on TYT. He was on Bill Maher, his fucking fake liberal ass.
Bill Maher's liberal until it's time for you to want your silver rights.
Silver rights, yeah. Because, again, this is where we're going to start the campaign of, like, your civil rights is what matters. SILVER, silver. Come for my money. Yes. And remember, it's almost time to vote for your presidential election, but June 9th, hopefully this podcast, it's not going to come out before it. Go vote.
No, it'll come out on June 9th.
Oh, today's June 9th. Get out there and vote if you're in Georgia. I'm voting for Bernie Sanders because it's
not going to matter anyway.
During the presidential election, after what Trump did last week, I cannot waste my vote. I'm going to have to vote for Joe Biden.
Well, that's what the guy was saying on the Hill, and I was like, he makes a strong argument.
When that nigga went out there and pepper sprayed them people and went out there and held that Bible, I was like, nigga, I wasn't going to vote for you, but now I'm voting against you.
Yeah.
And,
and you can't, there's no way for you to defend someone essentially destroying the First Amendment right. And on top of that, also destroying technically the Third Amendment right. But nobody talks about that because the police and military and National Guard can't come into places.
American soil.
On American soil.
The National Guard can, though, right?
Well, yes, but for limited incidents.
Correct.
They're now using them like, hey, we deployed 10,000. Okay, is there something that they're putting out?
And that,
like in the 92 riots, they came out there with guns and they shot Americans on American soil, but we didn't have phones back then, so America didn't get outraged. But that's why the riots stopped.
That's why they asked using rubber bullets too, which they shouldn't be using against American citizens. So this is your government, attacking you.
Yeah,
your government.
Now again, liberals, we're not saying that we want people's gun rights taken away. No, you need your guns. If this doesn't make you very, very anxious about the police being able to just come in places, this should make you extremely, you know what? I need to go find myself a black trainer. I need to go somewhere and find myself a black range. And I need to buy some guns for some black people. Because if the government is willing to do this on a whim, imagine what they do if they actually decide, we're tired of you guys talking shit about us on Twitter.
Liberals, I will change my mind if you go after gun rights. Don't fuck with it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Well, we just want to make a national registry. Do not fuck with it.
Well, at this point in time, I am normally
if they
for
go after
people having more whatever, but the government has just shown me that, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need any sort of registry.
I wonder if that would have been different if that was a whole group of armed men out there protesting.
Well, actually, they showed that. I just saw that. That happened today where Black Lives Matter, they had a whole row of rednecks with their guns, all loaded, all just hanging out on the side. But the problem wasn't that, because they have just as much right to be out there, provided they're not provoking anyone or pointing their weapons. The problem was that the media, this is why you have to always watch them, bleeped out the faces of all the rednecks, but none of the black protesters. Either everybody's face need to be out here, or no faces need to be out here.
That's why I didn't care when CNN was getting fucked up, because I was just like, we're going to watch these riots tomorrow. And watch the riots on the internet, and then watch the riots on TV. You'll notice the difference. Get a whole bunch darker.
Yeah.
Get a lot darker.
Get a lot darker.
The media is not your friend. CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News didn't do it as bad as CNN to me.
Well, Fox News didn't do it as bad on the surface, but if you look at the whole context.
Oh yeah, Fox News is gonna go law and order. I'm like this.
But that's the problem, is that you can't go with Obama's trying to take away everything. And then when Trump comes around and actually does do the shit that you were saying Obama was going to do, you're quiet as...
We're asking for the same thing, essentially. If I'm someone, just because you're a police officer does not give you immunity from killing people.
And in fact, you need to come after your qualified immunity, because you don't need to have immunity assumed.
Correct.
Like you have shown us, based on this event where y'all are pushing down 75-year-old men, where you
fucked that old dude up.
Yeah, and the problem is that they didn't have to.
Correct.
Because they could have just walked around him and been like...
He's old as fuck, bro. And if I was an old man, I'd have my pistol on me and shoot me one. I'm going to die anyway.
It happened on 2 occasions, too. The second time was where dude fell back and hit his head and bust his head open.
Is he okay?
They said that he's still in critical care. Or serious care. Downgraded from critical.
But lawsuits they going to have on their hands.
Super
and then in Atlanta, when them 2 college students, they're going to grow up to be heroes.
What happened with the college students?
Oh, so Armstead.
First Thursday we had those riots. And then Friday they put in a curfew. And they said they sent it out 9 o'clock. And when I've been going downtown.
Oh, you talking about that was in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All those people are going to be advocates. Number one, their college is paid for.
Yes.
I guarantee it. And Miss Bottoms fired all of them. Killer Mike, man, once again, shout out, my nigga. Like, he's telling you to go out there and vote. But I like what he said. Your local and government elections, your local elections. Watch these people.
You have to show up for your local election. You got to make sure that you're looking at who your judges are.
Keisha was a hero on Thursday, but she wasn't that much of a hero by the end of the weekend. People were pissed off at her.
Well, when I saw them saying, fuck you, Keisha, I was like, I mean, keep the rage going.
Well, Atlanta's so hood,
She needs to know that people are not happy about it.
We got a man named Keisha, bro.
We got a who?
It is.
We got a mayor named Keisha. Think about it, bro. I ain't never thought about it like that. I like her name Keisha, bro.
Yeah. No,
I just call it Keisha. legs, bottoms.
I think the fact that we have this and the fact that she was so quick on it, because the problem with most places is they drag their feet.
She fired them.
She fired them, and then they got charges.
And then they fired
like
the rest
3
of
days
them.
later.
Because that was in, like.
Well, the problem is you didn't give them a chance to respond. It'd be different if, like, you knocked on their window, they rolled down their window, then you're like, hey, y'all realize that there's a curfew. And they probably would have said, oh, we just came from out of state.
There was some other stuff. There's another movement, just to mention sports again. They want kids to drop out of these quote-unquote D1 schools and go into HBCUs, which it depends on the school. If my son could get into Penn State, I'm not sending his ass to Albany State. I'm just sorry. Like it means more for him. But if I know he's not going to have a professional career, which you kind of know a little bit. Yeah. You got but everybody think their kid going to be a professional, but I'm just like.
Well, that's the thing about it is you have to make this decision not emotionally.
Correct.
And also the thing about it is we're at the point in time where if an HBCU is like, hey, if you'll come to us instead of whatever, we'll match whatever, y'all should go ahead and get it. Also, they got really mad at those HBCUs for getting some of them loans, but why? They're fucking for college students. Hell, my alma mater, it got fucking loans, and people were pissed at them. Now, the problem with them is
Trump
they have
gave them a lot of money too, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, fuck you, Trump. Well, Trump gave the HBCUs a lot of money. I was trying to think of the good things Trump did for black people, and I was thinking about the HBCU.
Literally, the HBCU thing is the one thing that he's really done for us.
Yeah, he did the economic freedom zones too.
But the freedom zones are for the freedom zones to work, you literally have to have already had some friends in City Hall.
Correct.
Like someone like Killer Mike, to play devil's advocate to what you're saying. Killer Mike is definitely an advocate for order right now and for controlled outrage because he owns a lot of West Side.
Allegedly. Him and T.I.
Not allegedly. Him and T.I. own a lot of West Side.
That's what they said. Because they said it on TV. They own about half of the West Side. I'm just like.
Yeah, there's a reason that they're not trying to have you come knock down their stuff. Now, to their credit, I think their hearts are in the right place. And even though T.I. went and said some shit like making Atlanta is Wakanda, I understood what he meant.
Yeah, I do feel like he is trying to make things in the right place.
Well, it's not just that. It's like I understood
what he
meant.
Did he get rid of Tokyo Jets? If y'all don't know her, I only know her from one song. And there's this song called Friends. Well, anyway, go listen to that song. It was a dope song. That's the only song that I know Tokyo Jets from. And she made some disparaging comments about George Floyd. Tokyo Jets, what did she say? Riker, what did she say?
What did she say?
She basically made a video about the whole George Floyd thing and said, I'm a George Floyd your motherfucking ass. So it's just not the time for you to be making.
Hell yeah, that punchline won't be cool for another 2 years.
I mean, I don't think it'll be cool for another 5 years. But
I don't think that line will ever be cool.
You'll be surprised, bro.
You'll be surprised what people will put out there.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're like a young, aspiring rapper and people can say that you were a dumbass. But, yeah, exactly.
You can say rise up, nigga, then ride like it did for George Floyd. But you can't say, I'm going to kill your ass like George Floyd.
That's what I mean by
But I'm talking about like you know.
You can use it in a tasteful way, but.
Where you're like, she give me that, can't breathe, George Floyd. Like, that's going to be bad. Like, it always going to be bad.
It is. It's one of those things where it's like, you didn't have to say it. I mean, it's the same way as Trina. Like, Trina talking about the protesters. It was like, Trina.
Trina called him animals.
That was one of those that make me feel good but feel bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, until it makes you just feel good. You're like, I get where you're coming from. Yeah. Oh, niggas like they can't say I'm gonna go in your house, no warrant, Breonna Taylor. Like it's just gonna be bad.
Yeah, it's
just gonna be bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
No, not one.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you could make the line. It's just you shouldn't say it.
You should, but it's true though. The question is, you could be like, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to raise awareness. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all forgot. All I'm saying.
Well, what we need to do is we need to have more states just ban outright no-knock warrants. Like, I get why police like them, because if you're fighting someone who probably will be fighting back, you don't want to have to go to their house, knock on their door, and tell them, open up as the police, and then when they don't, then bash in.
It's been 4 years since Trayvon? You can't say that either, right? 5?
No, it's been 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah, it's 2012.
Can't say that Black Hoodie line.
Well, it's just one of those things where it's like, you should always say it in a way that is... You can say it in a way that makes it worse, but you can't say it in a way it's like a cool, slick line.
And always be careful of lip service, because Obama was the ultimate president of lip service.
Not was.
Lip service.
Is.
That motherfucker talking about... People was like, Obama said something. Yeah. And it was something that he said, the time is for change through your local electorate, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nigga, we voted for you. Like, you were supposed to be changed. Nigga, it was your slogan.
Yeah, it was my slogan. But see, what had happened was
Amazon and Google gave me all this money.
Well, it's not even that. It's that my corporate overlords said that, whatever. Who are your corporate overlords?
Well, you got to fight from the bottom up, man. You go to the House, you go to the Senate. Because if you take the House and the Senate, like with more it ain't gonna always be progressives, man. It's just
the thing about it is, if you have an independent like Justin Amash, that's someone that I can reasonably say I would vote for if I lived in his state, which I think is Minnesota.
Yeah.
But those are people, or Michigan, I think.
That nigga from one of them states.
Yeah, but see, that's a conservative who gets it. He's like, look, we need common sense bills.
Didn't Tim King get voted out?
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Yeah. He's gone.
He gone.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
Well, he should have been gone a long time ago, but that's neither here nor there.
And Rand Paul held up some bill, but Rand Paul was right. He's
well,
like,
the
this
thing
is
about
just
it
lip
is,
service.
Rand Paul was right from he wanted more.
They were trying to make lynching some kind of extra federal mandate, different things of lynching to be some kind of federal mandate. But he was just like, this is, in the end, he was telling y'all something. It wasn't anything. Like, put it like this, if I put you in a chokehold and you're a black man, or I got a dent around you, they could have considered that lynching. Like, the level of what they consider lynching was crazy. I'm just like, I'm kind of with Rand Paul, but I wouldn't say that out loud. I'll say it on this podcast. But I want you to go listen to what Rand Paul said, and he was basically exposing it for what it was, essentially. To me, in my opinion, I agree with him. It was more lip service.
I slightly disagree.
I don't understand why.
I understand what Rand Paul wanted, which is he wanted it to have more specific language.
Correct.
I can kind of get that.
It was liberal.
I think it's one of those things where Trump was going to sign it anyway, so just go ahead and okay it, let it go up for vote. Let somebody else be the ones to say that they're not going to do it.
I don't think Trump's going to do anything, is he?
Exactly. I don't think Trump would have signed it.
I'm Trump. I'm speaking to you. If you want to win, your base is not going to help you win this time.
Correct.
A couple weeks ago, you talked to me. I thought she was going to win, but there were protests in all 50 states. Nigga, 50 states.
All of them.
All of them.
They was.
Even Puerto Rico. I
think Alaska had one, bro.
Yeah, Alaska did. They're a state.
Nigga, you're going to lose by record numbers if you don't do something.
Well, I think that's why they're trying to hold it in their back pocket. They're going to give everybody like $3,000 and be like, don't y'all love us again? And it's like, I mean, nigga, we always love money.
But Stan Watson,
stop calling me.
Stop fucking calling me. I've been getting all these goddamn text messages. I knew I shouldn't have voted for Stacey fucking Abrams. Signed up for the fucking bullshit.
See, I never signed up for anything. Oh, that's a lie. Actually, I signed up for Bernie's campaign. But Bernie always asks me like, "Hey, do you want to give $27?
Hell no, Bernie."
Nah, for me it's like, Bernie, this is not tax deductible. No, it's not. All right, well, let me know what it's tax deductible.
Hey, come on, man, you got it. And he was kind of quiet.
Bernie was on the boat, but he wasn't making the noise.
He wasn't a leader. If Bernie, I think they know that though. I think he's being quiet for a reason.
Yeah, he's like, no, you guys carried it on your shoulders.
If Bernie was out there, bro, it'd have been a different kind of revolution. If he was still running for president, it'd be in the ball. Because you can't come against his record. Yeah, you right back. You can't come against his record because, they can't call him racist because he got photos and his rhetoric from the past. He already told y'all the government don't give a shit about black people.
What Trump would do was he would say, but your state's racist. And I mean, he got a fair point. But at the same time, more racist than your record?
You still don't win because, New York.
You can't even try
outside the city,
unfortunately, yeah.
And then, oh man, it was somebody recently. There was an Amy Cooper story. Did you see the Hill talk about Amy Cooper?
Yeah, Amy Cooper's story is the problem with white people.
What's the Amy Cooper story?
So basically, let's say you're in the park, you're enjoying yourself, right?
Bird watching.
You're bird watching.
Oh, the whole bird watching thing.
Yeah.
I'm bad with the names and stuff. I apologize for that.
They were both named Cooper.
No, don't apologize for that. I mean, there's a lot of names flying around.
And the funny thing about that one was, it was, to me, like, it was a guy who said something. He's like, she tried to use, it was about white feminism. It was, who said that? Oh, a funky academic.
Oh,
if you ever get a chance. He said, Amy Cooper represents why Black Lives Matter and the feminist movement never going to work together. Because when it's time to weaponize your blackness, they'll do it. Going back to a time when, like, The feminist said, Elizabeth Warren said, Bernie said a woman can never win a presidency.
Bernie Sanders said that?
No, he didn't say that. She said that he said that to her in private. But feminists, white feminists, would believe that over than his record. At the time, they were like, he said it. The news media used it against him because they hated him. Like CNN, MSC, Bernie Blackout, y'all get a chance, go watch Bernie Blackout. It's worth every minute. It'll show you a lot of things. But that's what white women do to black men. They weaponize it. It don't even have to be true. You could be like, if a white woman was, we was in there, oh my God, I'm in someone's house and these black men raped me. I'm like, bitch, I just told you to leave.
Yeah, like we said no.
And then the police would come in here, guns and blazing, and she'll suffer no consequences for it, correct, even if she was lying.
Even if we could prove with video evidence that she's a liar, she won't.
We already got shot by then and attacked. Get on the ground, get on the ground. I'm like, what?
Well, no, it wouldn't have just been get on the ground. It'd been get on the ground. Now wiggle to the left. Now wiggle to the right. Oh, you fucked up. You did to the right. Pow, pow, pow,
you
pow.
Seen that one?
Yeah. The Justin Shaver one, or sorry, the Daniel Shaver thing. To this date and time, lets me know that if the police want to murder you, they will murder you. And there's nothing.
He kept saying he was gonna do it. I don't know what that nigga should have did.
There was nothing he could have done because he was following all the commands. He was on the ground. It literally was a fucking pussy who had a gun who was like, "I want to kill someone. You're gonna be it." Because
did that dude get arrested? The cop?
No, he didn't get arrested. He didn't get fired. He just
what was
transferred.
that whole situation? Tell me about that.
So basically, Daniel Shaver was someone who had like an AR-15 like modeled like a BB gun.
Right.
So he had it. He brought it into his hotel room. It was cool. Somebody saw it, reported him to the police. Police came banging on his door, forced him to open up, and then told him basically that he needs to come out, lay on the ground. He does that. Fine. They said, now put your hands behind your back. He does that. Fine. Then he said some stupid
crawl
shit.
To me.
Like, crawl to me. And the guy's like, what? Like, he's pointing a fully automatic weapon at you while you're doing all this. It's not like we're having a conversation. He's telling you, crawl to me. He's pointing a fully automatic weapon at this guy and telling him, crawl to him. And the guy starts having a breakdown, which is fucking completely understandable. And he begins trying to do it, doesn't do it the way the cop wants to do it. The cop shoots the shit out of him.
He didn't even have a gun in his hand.
No,
the gun wasn't even on him.
Yeah, wow. And it wasn't even a real fucking gun. It was a goddamn BB gun. Now, this again, Daniel Shaver was right. It just goes to show you that if a police officer wants to kill you, he can do it. Like, you can look on YouTube now, you can see the Daniel Shaver body cam death, and it's terrible.
Yeah,
because when you watch it, there's no way that you can justify it. No, the cop didn't get locked up. He didn't lose his job or anything.
Wow. Yeah, they're going to get his ass, though.
I mean, nigga, hell ain't big enough for that nigga. They got to do a big hell.
Yeah, if y'all would be mad if niggas started to go kill cops, and I think that the next time y'all do this shit in the right city.
Yep. If it happens in Philly, anybody's bets.
Atlanta, nigga, like the country, like these niggas got guns. Matter of fact, everybody go get y'all some guns, man.
That's one thing that, like, you know,
never go by yourself.
Normally, I'm
mention those rules, man. Those rules were sad as fuck, bro. Did y'all saw what I shared with y'all last night?
Yeah, I saw that shit.
That was sad.
And the rules that this mother gave her son as a black man. One of them is like, you can't ever go outside with just a white beater on. Like, you gotta have a shirt on. Like, if you go inside a store, buy something and have a receipt. Don't just come out of there with nothing. It's just stuff that no kid should have to memorize. Like,
this stuff. When you talk to the cops, don't put your hands in your pocket.
Correct.
Check in with people even if you're down the street.
Correct.
Don't touch anything you're not buying. Never leave the store without a receipt, bag, or even just even if it's just a pack of gum. Never leave the house without your ID. Don't go in public with a wife beater or a do-rag. Don't ride with your music too loud. Don't stare at a Caucasian woman. If cops stops you randomly and start asking you questions, don't talk back. Just compromise. That's crazy. If you get pulled over, leave your hands on the dashboard. If they ask for your license and registration, just ask them, can you move your hands? Like stuff like that. I don't do none of that shit, bro. That's it, man.
I tend to do most of that if I get pulled over by a cop.
I talked to a guy at the gym, and he told me that whenever he gets pulled over, that's what he does. He'll put his hands right there on the steering wheel, And the guy in the cop was like, well, you don't have to have your hands up. Like, man, I'm just telling you right now, I'm doing this for my safety because I'm fearing for my life.
I'm doing this for my safety and yours because you shoot at me and I'm still alive, nigga, I'm shooting back.
Yeah, but you can't ever tell people that because cops are immediately going to take it in a way that it's just going to be.
Yeah, he ain't never say it like that, but you know.
No. We understood what you meant.
Yeah.
He was saying,
he said he don't.
I wouldn't say the second part. I'm just like, I'm doing this for both our safety.
You think it to yourself. And he said he also, like, as soon as he gets pulled over, like, he makes sure that he already have his license already. And he have his license right there on the dash.
So I got my license right there anyway.
Yeah. So he was like, if you want the license, you reach in there and grab it. I'm not gonna touch it. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, man. I'm 70-something years old, man.
I know exactly who you're talking about because that's what he was saying. He was like, man, for them new, because he saw me when I was bringing all the kids there to work out and stuff. He was like, you need to get all of them. You need to get all of them. The little license holder, put your license in there when you start driving. And when the cops see it, he could say, hey, you could put your hand in here. You grab that license and whatever. I ain't moving my hands at all.
By the way, it was a guy. I think he posted on Snapchat, SKOOD upcam, screwed up cam, and he posted a video as well. He said it was something I never thought about, and it was just clever. Like you know, when we leave each other or whatever, what do you say?
Peace, bro.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of things you say, like
see you later.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never thought about why we say that.
Well, it's that easy. Because it's that easy.
He said, me and all we say is stay safe. I'm like, we say a couple things, but the fact that we say stay safe, I never heard white people say the shit like that.
Yeah.
No, they're like, see you later.
And then when you leave from like barbecues and shit like that, don't you always, they be like, yo, call me when you get home.
Yeah. You always say that shit. You always be like, yo, crazy. Man, call me or text me, let me know that you got home.
Be safe, you know.
Something along those lines.
I don't speed. Even if I'm going to be late for something, nigga, I don't speed. I don't give a fuck. You ain't going to catch me like that. You ain't catch me with no speeding. I'm a wonderful driver, traffic, all that shit. Well, I guess I had my fun, but it's just that shit don't excite me no more.
Yeah, I don't care about this stuff no more. I ain't going to lie. Sometimes I do it on accident, you know, not meaning.
Exactly. You're not consciously
especially if I'm not
about
if I'm in an area where I'm not familiar with, you know, what the speed limit is. I might be doing like maybe, you know, 45, and it's like, oh, then the speed limit over here is 35. It must be in the city. You know,
niggas pass me on the expressway all the time.
That's true.
I don't constantly just mash the gas to speed just because I just want to just drive fast. You know,
Last time I got speeding tickets when I bought my Mustang, like the first week when I had got that bitch, because I was like, whatever, nigga, I'm gonna test this bitch.
Man, listen,
I just wanted to say I bought this bitch to go that fast.
I had got a speeding ticket last year.
Yep, I remember that.
This is around the time when my father had open heart surgery, and you know I had a lot on my mind, and I wasn't speeding because like again just to do it. I would just ride, and I had a lot on my mind, so I was just cruising downhill. I got pulled over, a black cop, of course, and he was like, "Hey man, what's the hurry?" I was like, "Man, if I was speeding, I didn't realize it. I apologize." I don't even know how fast I was going. He was like, "Man, the speed limit over here is 45. You were doing 58." I'm like, dang, again, I apologize. You know, he still gave me a ticket.
You owe that nigga an apology.
You know what I'm saying? but again, at the end of the day, you know, I ain't want no trouble.
That's another thing, man. They got this boss complex.
Yes,
like for the 5 minutes. Like,
he was really being like kind of an ass toward me, you know, because he was just talking to me like I'm his, like, you know, like just. Man, you know you ain't supposed to be doing it, you know. Whatever.
Nigga,
okay, cool. I just apologize to you. I'm sorry, my bad, you know. And then gave me the ticket.
That's cops.
They're bitches.
Now the crazy
you got a little power. You feel that shit, don't you?
Now
got that thunder.
Sometimes, in some cases, man, I feel like if I would have been a white cop, you know, he probably would have let me off. You know,
depends. Like,
maybe depends.
It depends.
Maybe
it depends.
I feel like I have more issues with black cops than I do with white cops.
Every time I get pulled over,
but it depends on where I'm at. If it's a white cop in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's the same. It's going the same.
Good luck.
Or worse.
But if you're in a city with a white cop, like a major city,
every single time I got pulled over, but actually, I can actually count one time. But every time I got pulled over by a black cop, I always got a ticket.
This bitch in the cab tried to give me a ticket while driving. She said I checked my phone. I was like, bitch, I was using my GPS. She let me go, but I remember she came up to my car and she was like, you got a gun? Say, if you stop me for a traffic ticket, it should be irrelevant if I have a gun or not. She was like, yeah, you right. I'm just like, why did you ask me that?
Well, no, she asked you that because she wanted to see if you're gonna lie.
That's none of her goddamn business.
But that's the thing about it is you got around it by not answering the question.
I don't ever answer that question.
To get to the point with what I was getting at is when I finally went to court about it, and I was told, hey, you can go there and maybe they can, you know, reduce your fine, because when I called, it was like $460.
That must have been a school zone.
It was right here down Panola.
I know, but that had to be like. There's no reason. There's no reason for that to be that high. Because that's only 13. That's only 13 miles.
It might be based on his history too.
No, my history. I ain't had a speeding ticket in like 10 years.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, so because that sounds way too high. Because the last speeding ticket I paid, I was doing this.
Finish telling the story.
Oh, sorry.
So basically, I go to court, and it's a black judge, black female judge at that. So
luck.
yeah, exactly. And you know, in my eyes, I'm like, you know what? And the first thing first, when I got there early. So I've been in court all day. I've been there since like 10 a.m.
Hope you had your books.
12, 11 a.m. something like that. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting all these people to go, and when people going up there, other guys are getting speeding tickets. They got this, DUI. Okay, we'll reduce your fine to this. Oh, well, I'm going to give you a warning, blah, blah. I get up there, and I explain my situation. And my dad just had open heart surgery. I had a lot on my mind. I apologize. Again, and she says to me, well, I'm sorry that's happened to you, but you got to understand when you're in that mental state right there, that's when people really get, the most situations happen. I'm like, again, I apologize. And then she was like, but I'm not going to reduce your sentence, and your fine is going to be $460 some. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. Let me just get up out of here.
That was the most time.
I went down there, and then I had to pay an extra for the court fees. So it came up to like $480 something. And then I had to pay for fucking parking. I was pissed.
That's how they get like a lot of black people. And that shit pissed me off. Like, most times we just pay the ticket and be like, fuck it.
That's what I wish I would have done now.
If you invest that into one of them, I hate this program, and I do not suggest that you buy it. But at my job, they have prepaid legal, and that shit like $25, and it was worth it because they'll come out for that for ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, prepaid legal definitely makes a lot of sense if you work somewhere and it's not too much.
They also got an outside offer, but I think it's like $125.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
That's not worth it to have a lawyer.
But yeah, if you can have prepaid legal, then sometimes they know who the judge is or they know somebody.
Why is prepaid legal so expensive, man?
Well, it's expensive because again, they want to have. It's like everything. It's
like insurance. If you can afford prepaid legal, then it might be worth it.
Yeah.
But the question is it a good lawyer?
That's the problem. Is you don't know who's going to get your case.
Correct.
But if you get someone who's pretty good, then you're all better.
Prepaid legal is retainer for poor people.
It's basically prepaid legal is a retainer for poor people. Yeah. And by poor we mean anyone who's a wage slave. I'm sorry, Mr. Doctor, you are not any better than any of the rest of us. And this is if you get a chance to get there, because like Breonna Taylor, she didn't even get a chance to have a day in court or to see anything. She was assassinated. One police officer shot through the goddamn window. He wasn't even looking. He was just pointing his gun and shooting in the direction.
So, to finish what I was saying, to go off more of
no, going back.
I took that personal.
You should take that personal.
I was talking to somebody the other day. Actually, it was my cousin, and I told him the story about it. He was like, "Man, I understand that you did take that personal, but at the end of the day, in a situation like this, unfortunately, business is business. That was a business situation right there, and they had to hit you over the head." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
How is that a bit? He was like, "Man, the whole system, police, all that stuff, it's all business, man. They all got to make their quotas. They all got to do this.
I get from the police officer because he's supposed to do that. But
the judge, though?
The judge could have called you something. Because, for me, also, how did you go up there? What were you dressed like? This is the problem.
I buttoned up, so I had a button down, I had some pants, nothing was saggy, I had a belt on. I had some nice shoes.
This is why you got raped. Yeah. Because you should have had on a suit.
No, you look homeless.
I wasn't
no, he's right. You either got to look homeless or you got to look like you are a lawyer. Like it's going to be not worth their time. Because every time I go to court for anything, I always wear a suit.
Do you have a full suit?
Yeah.
Full 3-piece.
Yeah.
Not regular. Yeah, you got to go up there in the full 3-piece. Because every time that I've gone up there, I've never paid a full amount for a ticket. I've always gone up there in a suit, and they're like, oh, you can get off work. I'm like, yeah. So, I would be okay with taking this to court. And all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? We could take off half of that ticket, or we could take off this, or we can do that, or we can whatever. We can something this other third, fifth,
all right,
sixth
I always
thing.
lie where I'm going. I'm on my way to law school, and
well, depending on how well it is. Like the problem with Atlanta's a really big small town, so I wouldn't use that too much.
I was on my way to Morehouse Law School, and they stopped me.
Well, if you're going to say that you were in transit to Morehouse Law, then that's up to them if they assume the wrong thing. But at the same time, the biggest thing here is that you were dressed well, better than most people. Because I've seen plenty of people up there in fucking sweats and
They be in
t-shirts,
t-shirts and jeans.
and all kinds of other
There be
shit.
some
And
bad bitches in there though.
Yeah, man, look.
Like, God damn, did they give
well,
you
a lot of
ticket for
times
being
the
so
people,
fine?
a lot of times people give people tickets because they want to talk to them. Like that's how I lost out on 2 people when I was doing Uber and Lyft because both of the girls that I was talking to before I was dropping them off, cop immediately hit me with the lights and was just like, all right, well, you can go, sir, but ma'am, I'm going to need to talk to you. It's like, we know why you want to talk to her, sir. And I mean, she wasn't willing to give me the digits, so if you get it home, Skillet, you deserve it. But I also have had family members and other people who managed to talk their way out of tickets. Like a lot of bad women are going to be in court because they get pulled over for that. Mm-hmm. But we just hope that you make it to court. As a final segment, I know that you may or may not like this story, but
Shoot!
Deanna Dior getting her ass kicked by that mob. I get it. She did fuck up some niggas' cars. So I'm going to put that out there as a limiting statement off the top. She did fuck up niggas' cars. And I know how niggas feel about their cars.
Yeah.
But y'all can't come out here telling her that you need this money cash at that moment. It's different if you get everybody's license and you say, hey, there's an accident and you begin reporting it or whatever you're going to do. If you tell her that, hey, we need this money cash, that does seem like a setup. Like, no, we'll follow you to the bank. I bet you will. Because that's how niggas get killed. For you to then go to the gas station and 20 of y'all beat the shit out of her. And on top of that, everybody said the F word. They mama said the F word. They said the F word. They sister said the F word. This is the same city where Big Floyd was killed. And y'all beat the ever living shit out of her.
Trans woman.
That's not even my fight. Like,
This is what it goes to. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, all Black Lives Matter. And on top of that, we have to stop, as you were saying last podcast, we have to stop reacting.
it was a car accident.
It's a car accident. Exactly. It's a car accident. It's not that serious.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait.
They should have handled it the right way from the beginning.
So basically, it was an actual car accident.
Yeah,
her fault.
She was totally at fault.
She's totally at fault.
Yeah,
her fault. What happened in it? Because I don't know this story.
Okay, so the story is
try to pay him in cash.
The story is no. They wanted her to pay in cash.
They wanted them to pay in cash.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like that's.
Did they not have
how many people was in the car accident?
So she was basically trying to park a car and she didn't know how to park. She ended up hitting like 3 cars by accident.
3 cars?
She hit 3 of these cars.
I can't believe
she hit 3 of these cars, went ahead, was trying to make it right, give people her license, all the other stuff. One of the dudes was like, I need this money in cash now. She was like, I don't have this money in cash. Well, we can follow you to a bank. And it's like, no, nigga, we going through insurance companies. Like, I'm not
I'd have called the police immediately if I was a trans person.
Well, yeah, she should have called the police then and there.
But when the trans should have called the police.
She should have called. The reason she should have called the police is because of the fact that you know how people are going to act.
I mean, number one.
Because this is their cars.
It's a car accident, so nigga call the police.
You always should.
The only way to do cash shit like that is with your neighbors, maybe.
Everybody else was cool with going through insurance car for 2 of the 3 cars. But then for y'all to all follow.
I think that's unacceptable that they actually did that to that person. I don't think it had anything to do with them being trans this or trans that.
No, it was. Because otherwise they wouldn't have said the F word a whole bunch of times while they were throwing punches.
When you're in the thrall of being someone ass, words come out.
No. You only say things that you actually say. No niggas ever started throwing punches like rapist. That just doesn't.
Yeah, I agree.
That doesn't ever happen.
I feel him.
When we throwing punches, bro, I might call you a jigaboo, spear chucker. Like it don't even matter, bro. I'll call you gay, even though you're a straight man.
I would never call you gay while beating you. I don't think you ever would. But
I've seen it.
The second limiter that I'm going to place on this.
Goddamn stereotype.
Bitch ass nigga.
The fact that if you stomp somebody out while saying goddamn stereotype, I will pay you money. But the second limiter I'm going to throw on this is that Janet Mock is wrong. Because Janet Mock tried to say
this is something that is not my fight, not my battle. And if there's
black lives.
If there was a black person involved and they're like one of these trans people, I mean, I get it, but like they weren't killed by police, so I don't really have.
Well, the problem is that this brought.
What you're talking about, what you're doing is distracting. All right?
No, I'm not distracting.
No, you are, because we're talking about the state versus an individual. You're going back to black on black crime.
No. I'm not saying that black on black crime. I'm saying that this is ridiculous. I'm not blaming all the black folks for what these people did. I'm not blaming all men. That's where
you're just saying this situation is ridiculous, period.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This situation is ridiculous,
my question is this: how many people jumped on the trans person?
20.
There
was 30 people at that gas station.
How many?
20
why did that happen?
Well,
first of all, what area were they in? We in the hood.
They were in the hood. They were in East Minneapolis. And apparently there's hood shit. The thing that I was mentioning here is that Janet Mock took it too far. Because Janet Mock said, this is why we need to stop bringing up Chis Mail. I'm like, hold up, Janet.
What's that, what?
Janet Mock tried to say, this is why we need to stop mentioning Chis Mail because all Black Lives Matter. And it's like,
who?
Chis Mail is what they say when they talk about people like us who are men who are straight. We've always been men.
I thought it was cis.
Well, cis, Chisette.
I'm
whatever.
saying, you might be teaching me something. I thought it was cis. Like,
well, cis, sometimes they say Chisette. So
okay.
That's why I went to Chis.
I have no idea what they make up.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, they just make up shit.
It's a word to say that you're the original man who's straight.
Yeah, a real man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say real or fake. Those are not words.
Real woman, real legitimately born with your penis or vagina subset, those kind of people.
Well, not legitimately born. You didn't really have a choice in it.
But you were born legitimately with that. And
but everyone's born legitimately. There are no illegitimate births. But the problem that I have with Janet Mock is that we're not going to say, if you're going to say that all Black Lives Matter, then that's the end of it.
Oh, no.
Don't add anything on at the end saying we need to take the focus off Black men who are dying. Because no, we need to keep the focus on everybody who's dying.
Again, that's a part of the LGBT community. Which
No, that's the part of some people. Because again, not everyone agreed with Janet. Some people
that's
call
the power contingent. I think that's the media contingent. They likes some of the media contingent. They likes to put certain people in the LGBT community, white males and trans people, on TV while putting black males who are in the same community and black females who are gay are one or two ways on TV. Either they're, how do I say this? They're typically real girly for the most part. Right?
They're either really girly or they real nigga.
Okay, and then the black men are just straight up
overly flamboyant.
Sissy?
Flamboyant.
I can't say sissy no more.
No. Well, because it's not sissy because a lot of these people are playing parts. So we don't know what they're like.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out with them and, it's not.
They're extra effeminate.
Well, yeah, well, that would be, again, that's true. That's flamboyant. Like, they're extra effeminate. The problem here that I have with this is that Janet Mock was out of pocket.
I don't really care about
because Janet Mock took it too far.
It's LGBT month, and we want to celebrate with you guys by telling you this story.
Well, no, the reason that I brought this story up,
I don't know why you brought it
is because this is something that happened in the same city. And on top of that, I get why people were so offended because the last time a trans woman got their ass beat, they didn't stop beating her ass. She died.
Last thing I want to say, please, is Drew Brees came out with his flag comments. Okay, the riots were going to be their distraction. And then the riots are nothing but an example of the flag. So I want y'all to think about it. They're never going to talk about the issue. They're going to bring everything else up. They're going to say black on black crime. White on white crime is 84%. I mean, I think black on black is like 94, right?
I mean, it don't matter.
It don't matter. It's still high. Nigga, it's over 50.
Well, no, the thing...
Don't let them distract.
Well, the thing about it here is that every time that people bring up violence or riots or anything like that, riots are the voice of the unheard. People only come together to riot when everyone is feeling like this shit ain't for us.
We're not going to talk about those bricks that were randomly placed around the city.
Oh, right? No.
Randomly placed all
completely
around
talk
the city.
about how those random
And there was some
blicks.
people that was riding around.
No, there was in Atlanta. There was in Los Angeles.
People.
And people were like, it was George Soros. I'm like,
probably.
George Soros doesn't give a shit about America burning. The people who want America to burn are the cops, which is why they were beating their own cars.
What the fuck is with them with Antifa? White people with Antifa.
Because Antifa would be the people who would be ringing the bell on Trump's kind of bullshit. Because whether Trump says it or not, Trump would love to be dictator. He would love to be able to keep doing all the same things he's doing right now until he dies. And then set Ivanka up as the next person because he loves her more than any of them other kids.
Is it because he fucked her?
I mean, those are your words, but I'm not saying
you think Trump fucked his daughter?
I'm saying thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and end this podcast. We appreciate your support. Check us out at EVYD Black Men on Twitter, Everyday Black Men on Instagram, and the Everyday Black Men Facebook page.